Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
History tonight on Capitol Hill. The House voting to impeach President Trump, becoming only the third president in U.S. history to be impeached.
Article 1 is adopted.
As the president takes the stage in Battle Creek during the historic vote.
Crazy Nancy Pelosi's House Democrats have branded themselves with an eternal mark of shame, and it really is. It's a disgrace.
Good to have you with us tonight for Local 4 News at 11 after a long day of debate. Tonight, President Trump was impeached on both articles he was facing. The voting sets the stage for a Senate trial now in 2020.
While the House was approving both articles, the president was delivering a speech in Battle Creek that went for 2 hours. Mara McDonald is live outside Kellogg Arena in Battle Creek tonight. Mara, many thought the president would wait to speak until after the vote, but that wasn't the case.
No, he came on and spoke for 2 hours, Kimberly, to a capacity crowd here at Kellogg Arena. About 5,500 people inside, probably 2,000 outside trying to watch it on the Jumbotron in the cold. And he didn't disappoint his followers and fans. He spoke for 2 hours, no holds barred.
It doesn't really feel like we're being impeached, do you?
Thousands waited in line in the cold to hear what the president had to say about impeachment. He was on stage when the House took that vote.
Oh, I think we have a vote coming in. So we got every single Republican voted for us? Whoa. Whoa. Wow. Wow, almost 200.
While much of Trump's speech focused on impeachment and no love lost for the Democrats.
But they think the Washington swamp should be able to veto the results of an election. That's what they think.
He hit on his victories, repealing NAFTA and benefits for autos, jobs, and the economy.
So as of yesterday, we've had 133 record days in the stock market. Now,
he took shots at everyone from former FBI Director Jim Comey to Governor Whitmer.
Because I understand she's not fixing those potholes.
And Congresswoman Debbie Dingell.
Debbie Dingell, that's a real beauty. So she calls me up like 8 months ago. Her husband was there a long time. But I didn't give him the B treatment. I didn't give him the C or the D. I could have. Nobody would have, you know. I gave the A+ treatment.
Back here live, the president singling out Congresswoman Dingell tonight, who was seen prominently holding Speaker Pelosi's hand as they walked in to vote for the impeachment of the president, talking about how she asked him for his help with her husband's funeral. Congresswoman Dingell, after hearing what the president had to say, had this to say tonight on Twitter. Mr. President, let's set politics aside. My husband earned all his accolades after a lifetime of service. I'm preparing for the first holiday season without the man I love. You brought me down in a way you can never imagine, and your hurtful words just made my healing much harder. We're live in Battle Creek tonight at Kellogg Arena. I'm Mara McDonald. Back to you.
Yeah, the crowd didn't really seem to know what to make even of that remark that suggested John Dingell was not looking down from heaven, but maybe looking up from hell was the joke he was trying to make earlier in the evening. All right, Mara.